moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow.
Oh yes, my Straight Talk family, whenever you hear that theme song, then you know it's time for another edition of Straight Talk, and time for me to say good night to the world. And I say good night in particular to St. Kitts and Nevis and the entire Caribbean region. I say good night to the Kittitian and Nevian diaspora and or the Caribbean diaspora, as I should say, because quite a lot of folks from the other islands all over the world do log on to Straight Talk, and we welcome them all. But I know that some of you are in Africa, some of you are in the Asian region, some of you are in Europe, and there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I'm at liberty to say good night. I can say good morning, and I will say good afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, we do have a forum to express yourselves freely. And let's say a very pleasant or extend greetings to our first-timers and welcome you, and we thank all those who continue to share the link. You get first-timers, and for the first-timers in particular, may I inform you that on this program, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I thank Almighty God for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And my Straight Talk family, I always find it important and imperative, I find it a must to remind you that as your host, I will always remain. I'll try my utmost best, and I pledge to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness, as I'm always reminded by the words or of the words of a hymn written by Thomas Jackson and Franz Joseph Haydn. And I love these words. We are called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and right, standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things to light. So let us seek the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we may all know the blessing of the doing of God's will. So in that context, my Straight Talk family, and using that as a point of departure, I can assure you that nothing is watered down on this program. Absolutely nothing. We don't care to make it interesting. We care to make it informative. So we don't water down anything whatsoever, neither by omission or exaggeration. Because Straight Talk is not about sensationalism. It's not about creating excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy. We always lean on the facts, as I consider it my duty to always present the plain truth. As I say, I'll always say the unvarnished truth, especially when it comes to governance in this country. And through this program, we are joined together with people all across the world, people all across our federation, and in the diaspora all around the globe. Some we know very well, and we have met. And I met a lady at Christmas time from Toronto, and I'd be grateful if she sent me an email. I don't recall the name. Toronto, you know what I'm speaking about. We met upstairs at restaurant there downtown. But others we don't know, and many we will never meet. So if that lady is listening tonight, send me an email, and we'll go from there. Some will agree with the positions of truth that I'll advance on Straight Talk, and some will obviously disagree, and that's fine. We promote diversity. We're different people, so we'll have different views. But what will sadden me, my Straight Talk family, is if we start to become disagreeable. So let us thank Almighty God nonetheless for helping us to understand how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. I can hear everybody talking about unity. Let's get together in unity. So let us hope and pray for the day when we all will sing His praise together. So welcome once again, and thanks once more for those who share the link as you bring first timers, and please continue to do so. I'm eternally grateful for that. For the first timers, I must also inform you that Straight Talk is a participative program. And by that I mean we include your calls and your emails. And if you're so minded, calling, the numbers are on your screen: 663-6672 and or 646-829-6672. Again, thank all those who share the link. But there's some of you who like the cloak of anonymity, as I call it. We give you access via our email platform. And I understand why you don't want to be heard, why you don't want anyone to hear your views, because this country is lovely, but it's strange. We give you the access by our email platform, which is Straight Talk Patches at strighttalkpatches@gmail.com. We always welcome a special welcome to our junior brigade: young Dwayne, Tristan, Shamar, Kevin, young Ru Costa, Travis, Jamal, Travis and Travon, Jamal, and that special lady in St. Louis. I promised she would be here sooner rather than later. We're going to have a discussion and you'll know who this special lady I always speak about here on Straight Talk. And I learned of the passing of Roy Nisbet Benjamin. Culture, understand that's your brother. I heard about his demise just yesterday. I want to extend condolences to you and your entire family. The passing of your brother, Roy Nisbet Benjamin, I think is his name. And just to let you know that death is a process, my brother. And for the information again of our first-timers, we usually have a format for each show in that we first consider our observations in review, after which we present a short thesis, my dissertation. And the title of my thesis tonight is Let's Go Shopping. Boy Drew, things tough. And our observations in review are an integral part of Straight Talk, after which I normally move into my thesis, following which I will then include your calls and your emails as mentioned earlier to allow your full participation. And our observations and review is the time when we highlight the current issues and do some reflection. We then ask a few questions such as what was accomplished, how has it helped others, what has changed since, and what can be expected next, what new we have learned as a people. And I'm not going to relinquish or overlook the requests. I get these requests daily, believe it or not, from the folks in Keon. And we don't understand why there is no transparency in reference to or with the quality of the water. Again, I'm going to call on the manager and water engineer, Cromwell Williams, to break your silence and tell the country, tell the people in Keon about the quality of the water that was found. We understand that efforts are being made to connect it to the system. We're happy that you found water. We're excited. But please do not let politics override quality. Because what has happened or is happening is that the politicians, the representative of number 8 and the minister from number 3, they are the ones talking about water, and they are the ones talking about the quality of the water. You have an obligation, Cromwell. You're a public servant, then act like one. I know you're a professional. I've worked with you, and I expect better of you, Cromwell. So let us know what is the situation with the quality of water found at Keon. Why isn't the Bureau of Standards involved in this critical issue of testing the quality of water made available for consumption? Is it because the last time Bede drilled a well, the Bureau of Standards found that the quality was not for human consumption? You should be proud you have a Bureau of Standards with that capacity in St. Kitts and Nevis. We need to know that last well that was drilled by Bede 4 years ago is still capped. It is still capped as we speak. And you know that, Cromwell Williams. So we want to know if the water quality is good, then tell us who did the testing. Bede can't police itself. Impossible. Why should we trust Bede? As I said before, and I'll continue to repeat it, Bede did not deliver water in Nevis. The last time Bede did not deliver water in St. Kitts. Remember what the snake Brantley said about Bede. This is what he said.
As I indicated publicly before, we had made a commitment to have an additional 3 wells done at a global cost of 10 million EC dollars back in 2017. In fact, it was in August of 2017 that we paid to a company called Bede just over 2 million EC dollars as a down payment. Bede has never come to do the work for the government. And so we don't have our $2 million and we don't have any wells. We have decided to take legal action against Bede that is ongoing. So it has not been for want of trying in relation to water.
And it's very strange, very awkward, don't you find, my Straight Talk family, that one island in the Federation has moved to litigation against a company claiming $2 million. And then on the other side of the Narrows, we have that same company seem to be working in the dark. The other issue as well relates to desalination. And there seemed to be what some people have called an incestuous relationship with the minister from number 3 and the people connected with Royal Utilities plant. And it's causing some concern. It's causing some concern because the minister from number 3 made this announcement sometime last week as well. He said this.
The Attorney General's office has confirmed that the contract agreement for the new desalination plant is just about ready for sign-off, and so we should be signing that contract very shortly for the construction of the 2 million gallon desalination plant, which is proposed to be located on the industrial site where the Texaco bulk facility used to be. This is right next to the ocean actually, and it's an ideal location for the capture of water and then the distribution to nearby 2 million gallon storage in Bird Rock, and even reaching storage as far as Lagreed. We had evaluated 3 proposals, and Royal Utilities was the selected developer, and so the contract will be signed with Royal Utilities, and we are at the final stages of that. And once the contract is signed, we anticipate that construction will take maybe up to about 8 months to get this additional 2 million gallons of water into our system.
And yes, you have evaluated proposals, but there are clear methods of procurement. Methods of procurement are pellucid. So we don't know what you are saying to us, Soca engineer, because the methods of procurement, as I said, are very clear. Methods of procurement are steeped in the legislation. And no matter what you hear Garth Lucifer Wilkin would say, as I said, the Procurement and Contract Administration Act is very clear when it comes to, as I said, procurement. It speaks to solicitation as well and pre-qualification. So I don't understand. And if you have 3 proposals, why don't you be transparent and tell us who are these companies that submitted proposals? Why should it be a secret? Minister from number 3, we talk about good governance. So why don't you then exercise or demonstrate acts of good governance in your ministry? Because as I said, it is clear when it comes to the methods of procurement. they are all steeped in the law. And no matter what you hear them say, that in terms of the Attorney General would like to come and make us believe that the existing legislation is not adequate. And he's talking this gibberish today in Parliament. I don't know why he was saying this in Parliament, but this is what he said, my Straight Talk family.
I just want to let the people of St. Kitts and Nevis know that the objectives of a new Procurement Act will be to secure the best value for money in public procurement, promote efficiency in public procurement, decentralize public procurement, encourage wide participation by suppliers and contractors in public procurement, create policies of fair competition, equity, non-discrimination and transparency, provide opportunities for micro, small and medium-sized enterprises and enterprises owned by women and young persons to participate in procurement opportunities, enhance the quality of governance in public procurement to enhance integrity, fairness and public confidence in the public procurement process, eliminate corruption within the public procurement process, and promote fairness, transparency and accountability in the supply of goods, services and works. That will be the objective of the Procurement Act.
My Straight Talk family, what is the difference in connection or in the context of what we have before us? The existing legislation stipulates that government agencies or departments are required to run fair and transparent processes to procure their goods and services, and must be held accountable for their procurement decisions. It's already decentralized. So who are you trying to fool? And government purchasing decisions on the basis of the existing legislation stipulates that these decisions ought to be driven by value for money, so that small or competitive small businesses have the same chance of winning government contracts. How come all of a sudden Garth Lucifer Wilkin find this legislation bureaucratic? When you came in, you said all sorts of things. But the government methods to procure goods and services are prescribed by the legislation. But when you listen to the so-called engineer Conris, and he reveals that the contract that was awarded to Royal Utilities Plant is now on the desk of the Attorney General Garth Lucifer Wilkin for his legal ratification, then it paints a picture that these elected and unelected and even some unelectable officials are making decisions behind closed doors. And that in itself creates the perception of corruption and would seem to signify that some people, some quote-unquote public servants, seem to be working on behalf of certain private interests. So, you came today trying to blow smoke in our eyes and talking about new procurement legislation and providing objectives. Read the legislation. And if you read the legislation, you'll find that the existing legislation speaks to the very objectives that you're trying to, as you say, put in new procurement legislation. It's no different with the CDB. We have always been a member of the CDB. We've always had many projects here by with CDB funding. So the Department of Public Works, Director of Public Works, he knows as the one responsible or the focal point for works. The Financial Secretary, she knows. So you can't fool us, Garth Lucifer Wilkin. The other observation, I said to you, my Straight Dog family, it seems as though the DPP, that's the Director of Public Prosecutions, Adley Smith, has gone quiet. As if cat take your tongue. There's an old saying, I forgot it. What's it? Cat bite your tongue? What? Somebody help me sometime when I open the lines. But I told you, and listening to Garth Lucifer Wilkin today, we must ask if this constitutional office is no longer independent, my Straight Dog family. I am forced to ask the question whether this constitutional office is still independent. Matter of fact, he said...
Madam Speaker, with your leave, I just wish to address two matters that fall within the purview of the Attorney General's office. One being procurement, and the second being the Integrity in Public Life Act.
Well, as far as I know, yes, the Integrity in Public Life Act falls under the purview of the Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, if you look at the interpretation of that particular act. And I'm not too certain that you're correct, AG, that the Procurement Act falls under your purview. Because if you look at the interpretation of that particular legislation, it speaks to the Minister it speaks to the Minister of Finance, AG, and that has not changed. If you look at that legislation, just for clarification, I want to believe that unless you have amended the act, it is quite clear that the public procurement, in terms of the interpretation of the law, the minister refers to the minister of finance. So I don't know if you want to usurp that position. Because even by your comments today, you seem to be even usurping the authority of the chairperson of the Integrity in Public Life Commission, the IPL Commission. Because some of the things you're saying, yes, you are the minister, but the chair and the commission has a function to play, and they must just keep to hell out of their business, Attorney General. The business or the functions of the commission are spelled out in the legislation, and you ought to keep out of their business. I know you're trying to bring information, but this is not your information.
I can safely say that all of the persons, every single one, who is listed and is still in their role, have filed their declaration. So we have 100% compliance as of today. However, the DPP, the Director of Public Prosecutions, who also saw the reason in a new process and giving people an opportunity to comply, gave a deadline. He issued a press release in early January and said there would be a deadline of January 26th to file. He went on the St. Kitts Nevis Information Service program and informed the general public of the process and what his considerations were with respect to integrity in public life. He said that he would take action on February 1st. So he gave a deadline of January 26th. He would take action, and when I say action, I mean charges would be filed. The article produced from his interview said DPP to take action on February 1st. So, between February 26th and February 1st, the last few handful of people ended up filing. However, the DPP, having given a deadline of January 26th, proceeded to file charges against the persons who were outstanding.
But the DPP, as I said, is an independent office, but you recognize my Straight Dog family. And you ask again, why is Lucifer Wilkin, Garth Lucifer Wilkin, speaking for the DPP and for the chair of the Integrity in Public Life Commission? Well, we'll have some more on that, but those are my observations in review for tonight. And I move right on to my thesis. As I intimated earlier, I have titled this thesis, Let's Go Shopping, Boy Drew, Things Tough. And I got that title because a young single mother sent me this message and asked me to pass it on to our Prime Minister, Terence Michael Drew. And we know that July. We know, my Straight Dog family, that July. The message reads, and I quote, I know that you may still be enjoying your honeymoon period. However, let's go shopping. Boy Drew, things tough. All of us must eat to live. But things are so tough in St. Kitts Nevis that everyone is trying to do so for as cheaply as they can. How can I manage to spend $100 on my groceries at Ram Supermarket and make it last for 2 weeks? As in the past, only God in heaven knows. That's how it used to be once ago. I even cooked sardine and rice for me and my 3 children. But I cannot do that now because under this Jew administration, the price of a little tin of sardines is so ridiculous, my Straight Dog family, and we need to cry out for help, said this lady.
You know, I think, you know, it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher. Imagine a little tin of sardines for $5. It's ridiculous, Mr. Prime Minister, and we really need a help going to the supermarket to shop, especially for single parents with, you know, children with about 2-3 children in the home. We do have a rough time.
And my Straight Dog family, poor people have cried out for help, and our incompetent leader has provided no comfort whatsoever. Instead, he stood on the side of the trader prophet. My Straight Dog family, he stood on the side of trader prophet, even though this single mother cried out for help. And this is what he said, believe it or not.
We don't make sardine here, we import the sardine. We can't control so much how much a sardine is bought for, and we can cut out all the taxes that we want. It can still come in at a cost, and the trader has to make a profit.
Imagine, he stood on the side of trader profiting, or in this case, profiteering. It is rather bothersome to everyone that the cost of living has gone up so much in just under 2 years of this July administration. Food prices have just skyrocketed. Dairy products like milk are no longer affordable. Chicken, fish, eggs, meat, and produce have become ridiculously expensive. And those items, my Straight Talk family, those items make up the majority of the single mother's grocery bill for a month. Poor people are crying out, especially those on a basic monthly salary, my Straight Talk family.
Imagine you go to the supermarket to shop, say for a month. You pick up 6 tins of milk, that costs you $30. You pick up at least a 5-pound packet of chicken wings, that's $22.50. Local fish, $10 per pound. You say average about 3 pounds, that's $30. You have onion, garlic, egg, toilet paper, toilet soap, cooking gas. You buy a small tank, that's $30. House rent is about at least $700 a month. You got children, it's cereal. By the time you finish those first things that I call out, add up to about at $842. You want some some sweet potatoes, it's $5 a pound. You don't have a breadfruit tree, it's $5 for a bread. So you understand how hard it is for the basic pay, a little over $3,000 a month, and you have to spend that. Somebody who don't have their own house and parents, you have electricity and that stuff. It's getting tougher and tougher and tougher.
Boy, Drew, things tough. Poor people are crying out as it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher. Imagine her children, this lady said in her message to me, looking forward to their cereal in the morning, looking forward for their Kellogg's cornflakes and milk, and July chatting this kind of stupidness. That's what that lady wrote for me.
However, I want to say to our people that we have alternatives. For example, and I would like to point out that a box of Kellogg's, same size, I think it's 21 grams, same size, costs about $21 plus. If you get the sunshine brand, is half of that. It's about $11. So for every product that we are accustomed to, we have an alternative. I can't tell Kellogg's how much to sell this stuff for. And we have sought to decrease freight taxes and so forth in an effort to drop the prices. But if we take away everything, the government will make no money at all. Remember, the carnation milk, wherever it is produced, costs more. So no matter how you import it, you are going to be paying more for carnation milk, for example, because that's an imported item and you're importing the inflation. However, if you choose another brand, for example, Bonnie, or any other brand, it is significantly cheaper.
There's no way, my Straight Talk family, that any parent or family should be encouraged by any leader of any country to deny their children healthy food choices and eat cheap food simply because healthy food now costs a few extra bucks at the supermarket July. A good leader would be concerned about the health and nutrition of the population that he or she leads. Like Mia Motley of Barbados, a perfect example you should follow. Terence Joe.
There's the issue of food security and there's the issue of nutritional security because of the problem with the chronic NCDs. Cheap food that is bad food is no good food.
Cheap food that is bad food, July, is no good food. And Mia Motley sounds like a good leader. So perhaps you need to listen to her and communicate with her more often, July. Let's go shopping, boy Jude. Things tough. I wonder what you would tell this other mother who complained about salted meats.
They don't have the money to buy saltfish. They can't afford to buy a pound of saltfish. I think it's hard. Saltfish get well expensive now. 3 small sal mackerel are at $30. Or 3 small sal mackerel no can't buy sal where you think it's so very expensive. Think it need a change. It's too hard. People are hungry. I got a lot of friends who had on weight used to look good in the body, and if you're so small I get, some of them come to me with a problem. They tell me before time they could have bought vegetables, they could have bought the provision, they could have bought this and bought that, buy the cabbage, the good thing them for the body. They say they don't have the money now. They can't buy them things. The people and get small and so fast. People are dead. And starvation, I kill them, they're sick. Hungriness, I kill people and I sink it.
Poor people under July cannot even buy saltfish or mackerel and provisions that were always part of the poor man's meal, poor man's diet from time immemorial. Not today, under Terence Michael July. There is slow or no economic activity in the Federation. The strategy that this administration has put into place to streamline the PAP, the Poverty Alleviation Program, PAP, over the last 19 or 20 months have seen millions of dollars taken out of circulation from within the economy, my Straight Talk family.
The budget, we would have had a budget to cover for this year about 4,600, just over 4,600 persons receiving this assistance. That's what would have been budgeted in 2023 budget. We know that was a significant cut to the number of persons who was receiving the $500 last year. But of course, we're trying to streamline our social assistance programs and reduce the level of dependency we have on these programs. And so that was the initial decision that was taken.
This inexperienced young senator, who seemed to have been recently baptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the International Monetary Fund, has the gall to admit that it was a significant cut to the number of persons who were receiving the $500 on PAP, the Poverty Alleviation Program. So out of touch is this young woman, and really, I have concluded she's not fit for purpose. I say so because the only way to reduce the level of dependency on a social assistance program like PAP, the Poverty Alleviation Program, is to create jobs. Let's go shopping, boy Jude, things stop. But you, Mr. July, your junior minister, Philip, and by extension your entire cabinet, ought to have learned by now that the best pathway out of poverty is a well-paying job. You claim that all of you are experts, and that is one of your problems.
I'm tremendously proud of this team. This team is filled with experts in various fields. Any field you might call, there's an expert here, somebody who is well versed in that area, even more versed than me, and that's a good thing. So if I talk about sustainable development, you have Dr. Joya Clark. If I speak to youth and women affairs, you have Honorable Iselin. If I speak about small business and entertainment and agriculture, Honorable Samuel Duggins, well established. If I speak about energy and engineering and so forth, the Honorable Conwys Maynard. If I speak about the law, it's a given for our AGS. When I speak about the tourism product and the advancement of labor laws and so forth, we have our learned Honorable who is a lawyer. When I speak about experience in government, we have our senior minister. When I speak about education and when you talk about empowering of the youth and community development, we have our Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Jeffrey Hand. And so this team is a serious team.
How serious is this team? But you lied about the investment under Tim Harris's Team Unity administration. You told a lie like this.
We have been getting calls, lots of calls, 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. I imagine in other parts of the world, it is day when it is the 4 in the morning here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We have been bombarded by persons who are interested in investing in St. Kitts and Nevis. And of note, we have not seen any significant major investment in the last 7 years. And therefore, I think our people must know that people are ready to invest in St. Kitts and Nevis again.
Lie. What a lie. My Straight Talk family. July, instead of criticizing Team Unity about not having significant or major investment during its 7-year tenure in office, should have examined the model employed by the Team Unity administration. To kickstart job growth, the Team Unity administration invested in job creation strategies, such as rebuilding our infrastructure. And one can think of the Island Main Road, the Old Road Bay project, the East and West Line bus terminals, installation of traffic lights in Basseterre, the island-wide roofing program, resurfacing of the entire runway, also the 3 taxiways, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, and installing brand new solar lighting, all at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport. The brand new ferry terminal, and of course the world-class second cruise pier that just recently accommodated the largest cruise ship in the world, the Icon of the Seas. The new Bastille High School was shovel-ready, and development of renewable energy sources, I should say, like solar energy, was already approved. These and other common sense investments and that created jobs and boosted our national economy were unceremoniously stopped by this July administration. And instead of building on the proven model of the Timothy Harris Team Unity administration to help to jumpstart the economy after COVID-19, the coronavirus-induced pandemic, which brought the entire world to a halt. In their political ignorance, the July administration disregarded the basic principles of continuous government. July, I intimated before, never subscribed to the concept that government is continuous. Or perhaps it was never understood that essential operations in government must continue after a change in administration, and critical projects or social programs cannot be stopped overnight, my Straight Talk family. The slow student Jeffrey Hanley is so daft that he believes that the designs for the new Bastille High School, which was going to be situated at Ponds, can be used at the old Bastille High School site. He has to be daft to even think about this, my Straight Talk family.
We engage our local architect and we provided them with information from the last Bastille High School that was supposed to be built on the aquifer and what they were offering to see what we can add to that. Because there's no need to reinvent a wheel when you have a wheel.
No reinvention of the wheel. How absurd can one get to believe that the design for Ponds area, the design to allocate the project at Ponds area, can be used at the old site? As I said, daft. The Soka engineer also stopped the solar farm project under the guise that they were renegotiating the power purchase agreement, the PPA, that was already signed by Skelec. The sinister plan we learnt about involves Speedtech St. Kitts Limited. The father of the Soka engineer is the sole director in Speedtech. And when confronted by the media back then, he pleaded the fifth. My Straight Talk family, he pleaded the fifth.
I'm a citizen of St. Kitts. I've grown up in St. Kitts. So whether or not I am involved with respect to anything that the government is doing with respect to its renewable energy program.
My Straight Talk family, we are watching the development nonetheless, because that solar farm is going on to 2 years and months it has been renegotiated according to them, but nothing is happening. But while concealing the true disposition of the solar farm, July announced that the said PPA was renegotiated months ago. So what is the hold-up? What is the hold-up, you ask? What on earth is holding this project up?
We are resolved to develop a sustainable island state. We are bold enough to say that it's possibly the first one that can be developed on this planet. We have signed, and I want to thank the Ministry of Energy and the Minister of Energy for really pursuing, along with the AG's office, the renegotiation of our solar energy plant that is to be developed on St. Kitts and Nevis, which will contribute about 30% of our total energy needs, and that will be, of course, renewable. So St. Kitts and Nevis is also pursuing the development of geothermal as an energy source. We think that this can finally resolve our issues with respect to energy and put us on the path to 100% renewables, and also give us the opportunity to help all of the other countries around us, and to help with, notwithstanding that you're small, you can be a part of the world's solution, and you have demonstrated that.
Mysteriously, nothing is moving on the ground to signal the start of this critical project that will provide 30% of Skelec's energy supply at peak periods. Geothermal, on the other hand, is rife with legacy issues that has been spread over different Nevis Island administrations for more than 10 or 15 years. Geothermal is currently more than $400 million in cost and more than 10 years away from implementation, if at all it will ever be implemented, given the dubious record of the snake, Mark Brantley. But the Federation is waiting. My Straight Talk family, getting back to the high grocery prices, they reflect a number of economic factors. The run-up in food costs began early in the pandemic, when supply chain snarls and worker shortages collided with rampant demand for groceries. Russia's invasion of Ukraine in early 2022 prompted a spike in commodity prices for wheat, corn, and vegetable oils that are finally settling back down, it seems. Low-income families have been hit hardest by rising grocery prices, and they are now being hit even harder by the senseless social policies of this current administration. Terence Michael July and his cabinet must support sustained, bold public investments in programs that support people living in and on the edge of poverty. You hear the story being told every day. People are saying things were better under Timothy Harris and his Team Unity administration. Money was circulating within the economy, And shoppers used to leave the grocery store with 3 and 4 bags. And now poor people leave Rams, Value Mart, Best Buy, and the Chinese supermarkets with 2 bags for the same amount of money. However, we continue to fool ourselves about the high income status of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Over the years, despite a number of bumps and hurdles, the Federation has steadily grown and developed, raising the standard of living for thousands of its people. World Bank statistics show that among the 15 Caribbean countries which make up the Caribbean community and common market, St. Kitts and Nevis has the second highest per capita income. At over US $18,000 per annum, it is second only to the Bahamas and classified in the high income bracket.
Academic, you would say. My Straight Dog family, there are people in this federation of St. Kitts Nevis classified as an high income country, living in situations of deprivation, in a state of being kept from possessing, enjoying, or eating a basic meal. Some people are living in a state that can be compared to the extreme poverty that is seen in low-income countries. And I concur with the governor of the Eastern Central Bank, Timothy Antoine, that the archaic reliance on per capita income is an analytic absurdity. My Straight Dog family. Thus, it is time the Bretton Woods institutions like the World Bank, the IMF, and others adopt the Multi-Dimensional Vulnerability Index, MVI, for determining access to grants and concessional financing. And I concur fully with Governor Antoine.
We also call for the broad adoption of the Multi-Dimensional Vulnerability Index for determining access to grants and concessional financing, as opposed to the archaic reliance on per capita income, which frankly spoken is an analytical absurdity and is simply not fit for purpose.
Not fit for purpose. But the stubbornly high grocery prices represent a critical drain on the finances of thousands of people and remain, along with housing, perhaps the most persistent economic challenge for the July administration, even though he tries to convince poor Kittitians and Nevisians the economy is back on track after COVID-19. July and his self-styled A-team filled with experts have provided no solution to our problems. Grocery prices remain elevated, sky high. But who would believe that while poor people in particular are crying out to the government to put in place plans and policies to break this cycle of poverty, I should say, while people are calling out or calling on the July administration for the introduction of long-term solutions to meet the biggest issues faced in St. Kitts Nevis today, the housing crisis, lack of jobs, and self-sufficiency in the food we eat. Who would believe, my Straight Dog family, that these political opportunists would be so insensitive and go to the parliament today and pass a resolution to increase their own salaries? Who would believe that, my Straight Dog family? I'm sure you were taken aback.
Now, therefore, be it resolved by the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis that the National Assembly accepts the recommendations of the Salaries Review Commission with respect to the salaries and other conditions of service for senior parliamentary officials with effect from March 1st, 2024.
My Straight Talk family, have you heard that? This is what, my Straight Talk family, these political vultures did today. Instead of introducing measures to help St. Kitts and Nevis to protect the social, economic, and cultural well-being of our future generations, so that young people and future generations may have a fair shot at life, they went to the parliament to legislate an increase in their salaries. And Garth Lucifer Wilkin came across like their pit bull in parliament today, my Straight Talk family. He was so offensive to all of us.
Madam Speaker, nobody wishes to talk, but I have no problem being in the firing line, Madam Speaker. I didn't take this job to be cushy and comfortable, and I know I'm going to be attacked, but believe you me, nothing they could say no could faze me. Madam Speaker, I therefore pray for the resolution's safe passage.
Not one of the elected members had the guts today to speak on the resolution. But they all voted in favor, of course. They all voted in favor to have a safe passage of the resolution. But they did not have the guts to stand up in Parliament and speak on it. Not one of them.
But I wish the resolution safe passage. May it please you.
The question is that a resolution of the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis approving recommendations of Salaries Review Commission be adopted. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
My Straight Talk family, these political vagabonds need to be dragged out of Parliament as they are so dishonest. Why didn't Garth Lucifer Wilkin tell the country, for example, about the $6,000 or more they take home in allowances? Travel allowance, housing allowance, telephone allowance, and constituency allowance. Why didn't they tell the country about those allowances? The Salary Review Commission report is from September 2019, my Straight Talk family. 5 years ago, September 2019. The team Unity Administration, my Straight Talk family. The Tim Harris team Unity Administration Cabinet deliberated on the report, my Straight Talk family, and in good conscience could not accept any increase whatsoever, whether 1%, 10%, was yet over 20%, because people were hurting. Remember COVID-19? COVID-19 displaced thousands of workers in 2020. And the economic conditions are worse now under this July administration that continues to mismanage the economy. Politicians are servants of the people, but July and his cabinet behave as if they are our masters. What are the performance criteria used to determine this increase? July got elected, moved into the gated area called Beacon Heights, hired a butler, Hazel Jeffers, to look after his meals and other things at the expense of we the taxpayers, we learn. And Garth Lucifer Wilkin had the gall to talk about Singapore today. Singapore is a country of laws, my Straight Talk family. Singapore is a country of laws. The rule of law is supreme in Singapore. And if he was the Attorney General, if Garth Lucifer Wilkin was the Attorney General in Singapore, and a court ruled that he committed a criminal offense, as he did, by deducting monies from the wages of his nanny, and failed to pay those deductions along with his matching contribution into the Social Security Board. My Straight Talk family, all these cabinet members, they have betrayed the people once again. But now you got your salary increase, Dr. July, and your cabinet. Let's go shopping. Boy, Drew, things tough. That's my story tonight, my Straight Dog family, and I am not going to change it. I will open the lines now and entertain your calls and your emails. And if you're so minded calling, the numbers are on your screen, like I said. 646-829-6672 and or 663-6672. You can access the number from overseas as well, but of course you'll have to apply the code, the area code rather, 869. I implore you, when I open the lines, I'll do so momentarily. I anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let's ensure, my Straight Dog family, that the things you say and do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in saying and doing those things, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With that said, we go to the lines at 9:07. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good night. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, Brother Patches.
Good night, my
Good night
brother.
to all. I am deeply saddened by this raise that the government and its cronies and its vampires and its barracudas, I can't say shark, while the people of St. Kitts can't even afford what was mentioned that the lady said. It is disappointing. If the government were looking out for the people, they would have put the people first. And they are last to show leadership. How much more they need to sustain whatever cause they are trying to gain. We come in this world with nothing and we leave with nothing. Naked we come and naked we go. So people must suffer while they gain. The rich get richer and the poor get poor. I am disappointed. They could have waited. This administration, not even 2 years in business. And they ask for such a quick raise and so much. Come on, give it back to the people. If you have to raise, give it back to some kind of non-profit organization to help food on the table for people. Prostitution is on the rise because there is no other means people can do. There are no jobs. So people have to pull their pants and drop whatever in order to sustain sustainability. That is wrong. That is absurd. And I condemn that. And may God blast all of you to hell, should that time be. All for money. That is, I yield for someone else to come in. I am disappointed, and I have no respect for none of your people.
Okay.
This is the top has been blown.
Thank you. Yes, I understand you very well. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, thank you for holding your live. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. How is the Bible man tonight?
It is wonderful. I did not live to live again. Nothing trouble me parties.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got God on my side parties.
Important.
It seems like when I come over here on Monday night and Thursday night, I get a lot of persecution. Well, me not care no. That's one thing me not do. I don't care one bit.
Persecuting for speaking the word?
But I am going to say something tonight.
Mm-hmm. Let's hope it's the word.
I ain't going to stop too long.
Please.
Psalm 41. I will not stop say so. Blessed is the man that considereth the poor.
Mm-hmm.
In the time of trouble, the Lord shall deliver him. The Lord will not give him over to the will of his enemy. So whoever wants to read Psalm 41, let them read it. And that is, when we don't do all what we have to do with poor people, remember that we had the word of God one day. And what are we going to tell him? I'm not going to say it to him. The word of God said, empty hand we come, and empty hand we going back. We can't carry no money with our way. We're supposed to look after one another here. And one thing he going to tell you, this is what I can say. One thing he going to tell you when you go to him, I was hungry. Are you not feeding me? I was sick, Mr. Patties. And you know, look after me. I was naked. And you put down the clothes on me. And then you gonna say, when that happened, Lord, he gonna answer to you and say, as much as you do it to the least of my brethren, you do it unto me.
Thank you.
So that's it.
So
let it go ahead. Let it do what they like. Because this minute, I'm going to say it now.
Okay.
This minute we are parted. And this minute we gone.
Okay.
So I'm going to say what somebody are queer after. Good night, Mr. Patties.
Good night, my dear brother, the Bible man. And we go straight back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Who would believe with all the suffering in this country, these guys would be so insensitive to raise their salaries at this time? Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yeah, Mr. Liburd, how you doing tonight, man?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, yeah, man. I was listening on the radio today, the House of Assembly meeting. I really couldn't believe what I'm hearing, but it wasn't surprising to me at all.
Yeah.
The whole of last year, I already put it out there to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, everybody who's hearing my voice. that those parliamentarians, they was going to come back this year and they was going to run this increase in their salary through the parliament. 1, 2, 3, quick reading and pass it right away. You know, and for what I've heard today, it's very disappointing. These politicians, I'm going to put it straight to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis tonight, man. They don't deserve this, bro. They don't deserve this increase. I don't care what nobody says, bro. You hear what the Bible man is coming with every night consistently? You know, praise to who considereth the poor.
Blessed is
Them man ain't care nothing about the people of St. Kitts and Nevis like that. You know, you vote these guys in, and they get in there, and then they switch up, and they act like they're so much of an elitist class. You know what I mean? This salary commission recommendation that was made, you see what they did? They came and they reshuffled. Last year, they was trying to get an 85% increase. So they feel to themselves, let's go back to the commission so they can be excused and put it in a way that, yeah, we came into the parliament and we met this here. So we're going to ride on this time and get this 25% increase. And we're going to chip away at that 85% increase that we wanted last year. They're going to come back and keep increasing until they get up to that 85% they wanted last year. They only check themselves a little bit. But to see how these guys come back this top of this year, is this the first parliamentary sit-in this year? They came back with this first sit-in, and the first thing they do this year is raise their salary, bro. Yo, the people in St. Kitts and Nevis, them man got to stand up, bro. They got to stand up. Them man don't deserve none of this, bro. They don't deserve none of that. You know, these men acting like they're such an elitist class. Yo, we are the electorates that put these people in power, bro, and put these men in control. You know what I mean? The man get up in there, and then they want to try to switch up on people and put things to benefit themselves. The man already getting all type of travel allowances and all of the extra stuff that they get. So much times they've been on these planes all throughout the year. You know what I mean? Find out and figure out how much these guys done made just in the first year, last year, bro, with all that travel they be doing. You know what I'm saying? Yo, St. Kitts and Nevis people, y'all don't have no courage, man. Y'all don't have no courage. Y'all should be in the street protesting against this stuff. They might should have been in front of that parliamentary place today, protesting this. St. Kitts and Nevis is the only place I see in the world don't have no protest, man. When the issues right to the national level, nobody's standing up to these guys, bro. The place needs some real shaking up, man.
Okay.
It's too much status quo.
Yep.
The only people just concerned about keeping things the way how it is. But the poor people is the ones that's gonna feel the squeeze every time. And they're gonna feel the squeeze now. You think these parliamentarians, you think these man worrying about where the next meal coming from? Them man bread is butter, bro. Them man bread is butter already. They still want more. They still want more, man.
Okay.
These guys are out of order, bro. Them man is totally out of order, man.
Yep.
St. Kitts and Nevis people, they gotta stand up, bro. Go in the street and protest against these stuff, man, so they can get the real changes happening here.
Okay.
People in St. Kitts and Nevis, they're scared to even speak out, man, against wrongdoing, bro.
Got you, my brother. Got you.
You know what I mean? This stuff is out of order, man.
Yes, sir. Okay.
They man need to go in the street and protest this stuff and show them, man, who got the real power in their hands. We the voters and we the electorates got the real power in our hands, bro.
Okay.
That stuff is out of order, man. I already done preached it the whole of last year. They was gonna come back and do this and see what they did top of the year. It's very disappointing, man. That man don't deserve none of that. Yeah, man. Thanks a lot, Patches, man. You have a good night, bro.
Have a good night.
Yeah, hail up to the man Culture and the man Winston. Welcome for coming in early tonight.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Thanks.
Have a good night, man.
Thanks for your contribution as usual. You know, groceries or grocery prices are still remain high. And who would believe that while poor people in particular are crying out to the government to put into place plans and policies to break this cycle of poverty, they raise their salaries. And like that caller said, they hold on to the salary or Salaries Review Commission. I have that report on your screen. And that report is dated September the 30th, 2019, 5 years ago. And look at the introduction. It says the Salaries Review Commission Act 2009, Chapter 22.14, provides for the establishment of a commission as titled by the Act, its functions, as well as related or incidental matters. The Act calls for the appointment of 5 persons, a chairperson and 4 other members, by the Governor General, and that such appointment be done after consultation with the Prime Minister and the Leader of Opposition. But this is the part I like. The law stipulates that the Commission shall, every 3 years with the approval of the Governor General, review the salaries and other conditions of service of the Governor General, members of Parliament, including the Speaker of the House, the Deputy Speaker of the House, Prime Minister, Attorney General, Ministers of Government, and Parliamentary Secretaries, also referred to as Minister of State, the Leader of the Opposition, and the holders of such offices as may be prescribed, and make recommendations to the government accordingly. So this recommendation came in 5 years ago, my Straight Talk family. And it says, review the salaries and other conditions of services. But let's go back to the lines. I'll get back to that. I thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Patches.
How are you, my brother? I heard your brother has gone to the great beyond. I want to extend condolences to you, my dear brother, Culture.
Okay, I would ask you, Patches, for give me just a little more seconds, you hear?
Sure, no
I
problem.
want to say good evening to all the listeners and Straight Talk. Mr. Straight Talk, Sidewine, welcome. And here in St. Kitts, my great friend, Shano, and all who listening to Straight Talk tonight here, Patches. Yes, my brother has been in town yesterday, Roy Nisbet. And so I want to thank everybody who showed the last respect to my brother before he got down in the earth. We all have to go there someday. Anyway, thank God for that. Patches, I have 2 things tonight to talk about. I'm going to come back with the second one about the water in Cairn, because I have something to guide the people of Cairn how to go about that water. But Patches, this thing here with these criminals, financial criminals, murderers, you mean to tell me, what he named there, Joe and his cabal them just gone in office. It ain't a year and 8 months yet. And the guy got take the big salary. You hear what the DPP say? I mean, the boy, the Wilkin, what he said the other day, that in order to avoid people from being corrupt, they got to pay them good salary. That means they're going to buy the 85% salary. People in St. Kitts, this is not time to be coward and sitting back. Or you get up. These criminals here we got in St. Kitts near college of government, they need to be up between Israel and Palestine. Let them get what Israel give them up there, who won't keep still. This is criminal. People balling murder. They take away the $500 from people. So they're going to give people 15. Nothing talk or so. And they come with a talking about they're going to give them 600. And when they give them 600, one is only 100 Ghana and 25. But then how much they going to take from Social Security? People, are you doing? Come back, go let them fool you about vote for them. They are criminals. They don't care about St. Kitts. They don't care. See what they're going to about themselves? Then the Patches are going to come back. Let somebody else come in, man. Everybody, good night. Wex, I'll be back, Patches.
Thank you very much for your contribution. And everybody should be mad. Everybody should be mad. My email is Here, let me get dispense of these emails. Mark Brantley is so stupid, reads this email, and believes that when Douglas sarcastically told him in the House that he is the brightest, richest, and best dressed parliamentarian in the world, obviously this has gone to his head and catapulted him on the moon. And because of that, you think he's fooling some people, like the journalist Mr. Hui, when he told him that being in opposition doesn't mean that you have to criticize. You work with them, and only in exceptional cases, when necessary, you point out to them where they are going wrong. What you want to do, criticize for the next 5 years. Well, I want to say to this political, educated idiot, if that is your dumb, idiotic concept of the duties of an opposition leader, keep it to yourselves and do not think you have convinced anybody with your foolishness. And my Straight Talk family, the issue today or tonight we have raised is the heartless bunch of kleptocrats that occupy the seat of government. Things are hard in the country. Things are tough, as this lady said. And when you think that they would address the issues of or issue of job creation, shelter, the poverty, try to eradicate the poverty, they are looking at themselves. And this Garth Lucifer Wilkin is so obnoxious when you come to think of this unelected and unelectable individual. When he would table this resolution and not one member on the government bench or benches had the courage to stand up and give support to this resolution. Not one of them had the courage to give support to the resolution that was tabled by Garth Lucifer Wilkin. And who would believe what Garth Lucifer Wilkin said? He said this, my Straight Talk family, which I found so obnoxious, my Straight Talk family.
Madam Speaker, nobody wishes to talk, but I have no problem being in the firing line, Madam Speaker. I didn't take this job to be cushy and comfortable, and I know I'm going to be attacked, but believe you me, nothing they could say no could faze me. Madam Speaker, I therefore pray for the resolution's safe passage.
Nothing should faze you because you broke the law and you're the chief legal advisor to the government. And you table all the laws in Parliament. You should not be in Parliament. You should be convicted. If you were in Singapore, you would have been convicted and sent to jail. You would not be in Parliament, Garth Lucifer Wilkin. You broke the law. And not once, not twice, thrice, 3 times you did, my Straight Talk family. But let's get rid of these emails because they are piling up on me, my Straight Talk family. The lines are open nonetheless. The lines are open in right now, my Straight Talk family. Good night, Mr. Liburd. What is going on down at the National Insurance Office? So many people are complaining that since last year they have filed claims and several months have since passed and have not received their duly deserved benefits. This never happened under Team Unity. Why all of a sudden the long delay in paying poor people their insurance money? Every minute they're traveling, spending government money, going all over the world, and are the first to get subsistence on their return. So why can't they repay the insurers that have already struggled to find money to pay their doctors for health care? Pay back the money, man, reads this email. It's other emails. I want to remind the Minister of Education of Galatians chapter 6, verse the verse that states, God is not mocked, and whatsoever you sow, you will reap. You walk in pretending and giving the false impression that you are a born-again Christian. You may fool some people and the Christian and Evangelical Association, but certainly not fooling me. I wonder if any of these pastors ever had the temerity to condemn and rebuke you when they look at you dancing and walking up to the calypso music behind labor women at the function in New York and at the Marriott. Mr. Minister, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And for you to have the audacity to be announcing in Parliament that you're calling for prayer and fasting is tantamount, beg your pardon, to hypocrisy. Let me remind you that the scriptures say in Proverbs 15:29 that the Lord does not listen to the prayers of the wicked, but to those who do right. You better go and repent and start doing what is right. Mr. Minister, reads this email. This other email, true, Patches. That email is true about national insurance. When you go to find out why we can't get our money after putting in claims way back in September, they're saying that the computer's giving problem. Well, only for us the problem applies. How come all them government ministers who gave them their massive increases in their salaries don't have that same problem? Boy, this thing ain't right, reads this other email. Well, big increase in salary for Mark Brantley as the nominal leader of the opposition, which exists only in name and not doing the job as required for his pay. And let us not overlook the fact that he will be getting another big increase of over 25% on his next salary as a parliamentary representative in the National Assembly. For Nevis 9, good Lord, man, what heart these criminals in government have, is this other email. Yes, callers, I'm just trying to dispense up all these emails so I can have them as part of the program as well. Whenever I see some of these selfish persons who follow the snake's advice to break up Team Unity, you hear me, 3 full more years and months in office, and they follow the Nevis blue snake mantra. It's either Timothy resolve it or we dissolve. And dangerous Crooked Simmons agreed to the blue snake recommendation with this other email. Wow. So Patches, the government gave civil servants and themselves 8% last year, and now they're going to take 33%. So in all, they're going to get 41%. Patches, not only crime rate going to increase, but prostitution, that may also see an increase in the spread of STDs, not only in adults, but minors as well. What will become of our dear land of beauty, a country where peace no longer abounds? It's 9:34, my Straight Talk family. In the event you have just joined me, my thesis tonight, let's go shopping. Boy, Drew, things tough. And we looked at the situation that now exists in the country. This is for those who may have just joined me. And I referred to a message that I got from a young lady who shall be nameless. And this young lady wrote to me or sent me a message and asked me to pass it on to Prime Minister Terence Michael Jew. And we know that July. Well, I can only pass it on via this medium because, you know, he would not get close to me. And the message read, and I quote, "I know that you may still be enjoying your honeymoon period, but let's go shopping, boy Jew. Things tough. All of us must eat," continue the message, "to live, but things are so tough in St. Kitts Nevis that everyone is calling or trying rather to do so for as cheap as they can. Things are tough. And that's how it used to be once ago when we went to the grocery and we spent $100 on groceries at Rams and make it last for 2 weeks. But now, we can't even buy sardines, my Straight Talk family. And this single mother cried out for help. And who would believe the response she received from the Prime Minister?
We don't make sardine here, we import the sardine. We can't control so much how much a sardine is bought for, and we can cut out all the taxes that we want. You can still come in at a cost, and the trader has to make a profit.
Imagine you go to the supermarket to shop, say, for a month. You pick up 6 tins of milk, that costs you $30. You pick up at least a 5-pound packet of chicken wings, that's $22.50. Local fish, $10 per pound. You say average about 3 pounds, that's $30. You have onion, garlic, egg, toilet paper, toilet soap, cooking gas. You buy a small tank, that's $30. House rent is about at least $700 a month. You got children, it's cereal. By the time you finish those first things that I call out, add up to about at $842. You want some some sweet potatoes, it's $5 a pound. You don't have a breadfruit tree, it's $5 for a bread. So you understand how hard it is for the basic pay, a little over $3,000 a month, and you have to spend that. Somebody who don't have their own house and parents, you have electricity and that stuff. You know, it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher.
Yes, it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Yes, Patrick. Yep. Yes, Patrick. This is my second and me last time. Now, Shelly Gums, good night. Patrick, let me go to Cairn now. I would like the people of Cairn, or everybody in St. Kitts, we all have to use water to drink and cook. But especially over Cairn, where there is a serious water problem. And even at Monkey Hill too. What I would like you all to do, it might cost you maybe $10 or whatever money. Fetch some clear water from the pipe and put it in a glass container. Make sure that the glass container is cleaned and dried before you pour the water in there. And then you take it to a lab and ask them to put some of that water on a slide and put it under the telescope and let you look to that. And you will see the amount of bacteria in that water. Because bacteria cannot be seen with the naked eyes alone. It has to go to a microscope, a telescope. Then everybody will take the water serious and tell the government, Congress, and the government take up the water and go from over Cairn. If you cannot bring plain, pure, clean, healthy water, don't come over there, come dig no well. Because the well over there has been capped so long. And the so-called Calypsonian politician going to talk about they find water for people of Cairn. I want to poison Cairn people. My mother from over there, and me from over there. And I go talk for Cairn and the whole country. I doing stupidness to this country. I like a fambin and bin Barnabas person who call himself a builder of a house. And they cannot read a plan. So when they don't build the 4 box, and you go in there, put on a cabinet on the wall, then you see if the house square it out of line. That's what this government is about. I just concerned about yourself. Before they come with the increase, a lady up the village got 5 children. Tell me that out of the $500 what she used to get on the unity government, all she had to do put on 100 and pay she rent. But now the 500 gone. So she said she had to turn a Warbin patches, a Warbin. But what will happen now when they get the big raise? Women, they have to do what they never planned to do in life just to survive. That is bad. People, they're killing you in Sinkets. I'm sorry for you. I'm very sorry for you. And let me go to the snake. That snake, he's supposed to provide the government all the money what he getting because he's not doing the work as an opposition. This kind of thing, he's supposed to get up and oppose them. But he ain't doing it because he over there with them. He right over there and he's supposed to be kicked out. He ain't care about nobody. He talk about people downtown in Nevis, in bar, drinking rum when they're supposed to be working for government. Where he be now? Where he is? He may not be down there drinking the rum, but look where he be collecting money and he ain't working for it. I go in no patches, but hear this. Patches, if anybody go into a supermarket or anywhere go buy goods, and they give you the goods and the goods not in not any eating, consuming condition, you have to give them back and they have to give you back the money because you're not getting value for your money. Well, the site is with a snake. The country not getting the service from him as an opposition leader who opposition party and he collecting money, he gonna get a big salary too. Come on, people. Come on, it is time to throw them out in there, man. Get them out. Patches, thank you very much. I get it too emotion. Thank you, Patches. Have a good night.
Have a good night as well, dear brother. Anyone would get emotional from what they have done by Straight Talk family. And as you said, it was coming. As the caller said, it was coming. We saw it coming. Remember last year, they asked this question at their own town hall meeting. But not one of them got up to support the resolution. Boy, Jonel, what foolish post that you got up about you support the minister's salary increase. You're still so afraid of Mark, who have destroyed your political career and now laughing after you? You're still looking company with him? Shame on you, man. I really thought you had known better. Reads that email. And this other email reads, Devon Cornelius, man, you made yourself a real puppy show on the Edge program yesterday. You got so arrogant, boasting, and show self, insulting your callers, especially Miss Henry. You have no manners whatsoever and very bad attitude with this other emailer. Patches, if the people of this country don't realize by now that we have a worthless set of vagabonds running this country, well, I am sorry for them. The heartless, wicked government passed a resolution in the House today to increase their salary at a time like this, when poor people of this country can't even get food to eat. They are going to done away with the PAP program and replace it with this stupid LIFT program, which according to them, poor people will be getting $250 to $600. but they passed a resolution to increase their salary by thousands of dollars. These are some shameless, wicked people running this country. Garth Lucifer Wilkin trying to justify the wicked, heartless act in Parliament today was a disgrace. I hope the poor and needy in this country realize that the government don't care about them. They were all only needed to get into government. Their usefulness has ended until next election. Reads that email. Caller, thank you for holding your line. Hello, caller.
Hello, Patrice. Good night.
Good night, my dear. How art thou?
I'm good. And yourself?
I am peaceful, but disappointed.
Yeah, it's so shameful. Hello?
So I'm peaceful, but extremely disappointed.
I know. It's so shameful that they just gone into office and they want a raise of salary. What did they do for the country? I mean, come on. Because what they're trying to do, because they give an increase of the minimum wage, so they want the raise too? Huh? Mark, yes. The reason why that snake up Nevis can't argue, don't want to give up the opposition leader, because he said when last night that Timothy is not good for the country, so that means he's going to do anything for prevent Timothy. But the thing is that he forget that he said that Timothy was the best prime minister, best everything happened to Nevis. It's a good thing when we talk, we can't take back the words. Yes. It's a good thing when we talk, we can't take back the words. That's why he don't want to give up the opposition leader, because the thing is that he can give it up to whether Sean. He has so much against Timothy. He had two guys coming on. He have a deputy premier. He couldn't give it up. But he know what he doing. He want to be on the government side because he want to try to prevent Timothy from getting in there. And talking last and saying that he know a lot, and they get fed up because Timothy was undermining them. When they were saying that Timothy don't have his 8 constituency outside there, poor Timothy didn't have nothing. Timothy didn't have any talking about how he been fired. He fired his own self. He is the one that fired his own self. Nobody fired him. He fired his own self. Huh? When he talking about this, when I had called and you show and tell Timothy, stop, give Mark money on the back door, let Mark come in the front door. Mark go in the back door and wherever he get, it was so sweet him. Oh, Timothy is the best. And all of a sudden, Timothy is not good for the country anymore because he don't get what he want. Eh? So, I mean, I do not understand. I really, truly don't understand why they're going to raise the salary. They're not even in there for a good 2 years to say, well, okay, we did. What did they do for the country for them to raise the salary? Eh? So their pocket must full, and because they give the minimum wage, so they're entitled for a raise too. Anyway, Patricia, have a good night.
Yes, have a good night as well. Thanks for your contribution. And my Straight Talk family, it's 13 before the 10 o'clock hour. In the event you have just joined us here on Straight Talk, we are looking at our thesis tonight. We normally have a thesis, and we have titled our thesis tonight, Let's Go Shopping. Boy Drew, things tough. My Straight Dog family. And yes, we mentioned the snake. But the snake is so dangerous. That lady just spoke about the snake. And I'll tell you exactly what the snake said. This is what he said. my Straight Dog family. That was then. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, thank you for holding your live.
Good evening, Mr. Liburd.
Good evening, my lord. How art thou?
Not bad, not bad. Man, we all got an education today, man.
You did?
Yeah, we now learn what the LIFT program is all about.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. you show thousands of people
off
the PAP program, make thousands of people poor, put them on the street to beg, while you lift up yourself. That is what the lift was all about.
Interesting.
Yeah, the lift is for we, the ministers, and so not for them.
Not for them.
They was making too much. This $500 a month was too much for those thousands of poor people. So finance in the treasury kind of tick. So to get money to pay the ministers, you have to take away money from the poor people. It's simple as that.
Yes. Good analogy there, my brother.
dig out the iron, lift up yourself. That's lift. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Very interesting perspective there. Yes, that's what lift is all about, rob the poor people. As you say, rob Peter to pay Paul. You rob the poor people to pay yourself. Patches, you see how easy it is for these heartless political maniacs to increase their salary. How come it took so long, beg your pardon, for them to increase the minimum wage for poor people? They said they had to consult with stakeholders. Did this government consult with the people before they decide to increase their salary by thousands of dollars? After all, we are the ones that are paying their salaries. When it comes to doing things for the poor and needy in this country, this government always saying that it's not sustainable. I want to ask them if increasing their salaries by thousands of dollars is sustainable. I want my fellow citizens of this nation to rise up and wake up and put an end to this wicked, selfish, heartless set of vagabonds in government. This madness must stop. Read this email. Good evening, my Straight Dog family. I tuned in today enthusiastically to listen to our our elected leaders, beg your pardon, speak about which direction in which our country should be headed. However, the moment I heard the biggest steaming pile of hogwash, my ears became ignorant of what ensued. When these liars stand up in that honorable house and state nothing was done in 7 years, it insults right-thinking people of our beloved nation's intelligence. Please, Mr. Straight Talk, make it make sense. Today is February 22nd, 2024, not July. Reads this email. This other email reads, "Good night, Patches. I am wondering if the fuel charges are back on the electricity bill, because nobody in the filthy Labour Party is saying anything. 1 month alone is $400. The next month is 300, Patches. Some things are not right. Is 17% VAT on food, and they're walking playing chess with people's lives. If I had a magical wand, I would make the Labour Party and its ministers disappear. I am sick of them all. They remove persons from the PAP, but they increase their salary. Marsha already up a shoe size, and she was the one who said she don't mind getting an increase. Marsha feet are swollen. She soon wear Crocs with double insides. The Labour Party consists of a bunch of greedy people, and all who involved, we need to get rid of them. Reads this other email. Patches, life in St. Kitts hard. I have a taxi man and the money not come in fast enough. Don't talk about me butcher man is facing difficulties. He come like, I have to get a policeman. This life ain't sweet at all. Not for its citizens, but the ministers are getting fatter. Look at Jeffrey's belly. He is a size belt up. To say we want to school together, we went to school together. Congress ain't looking right. You think it would be easy, especially when he fails at doing his duties. No, we need to hold them accountable. A message to the DPP: don't like Jew out of your sight. That perhaps should be, don't let Jew out of your eyesight. Reads this email. Patches, these people who are in government today are insecure because they are a one-term government. That's why they take the increase so early. They have no compassion for the poor people of St. Kitts Nevis. Robbers they are, looking or fooling the people. That's why many people can't pay their bills and bills. Lord help St. Kitts Nevis people. They are like sheep being led to the slaughter. Anyway, they will be all right. Reads this email. It's 4 before the 10 o'clock hour. My Straight Talk family, if you have just joined me, my thesis tonight is let's go shopping. Boy, Jew, things hard. And that was our point of departure tonight. Things in St. Kitts are hard. Poverty is on the rise. My Straight Talk family, and this government is not a government we should trust. Instead of finding solutions to the problems, they are ignoring the people and just all about themselves. Who would believe, my Straight Talk family, that instead of addressing the issues of housing, the issues as relates to the high cost of living, they sent this kleptocrat, my Straight Talk family, who was so insultive, and he was the one who tabled the resolution. Here's what he said, my Straight Talk family, in a nutshell: be it resolved.
Now, therefore, be it resolved by the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis that the National Assembly accepts the recommendations of the Salaries Review Commission with respect to the salaries and other conditions of service for senior parliamentary officials with effect from March 1st, 2024.
March 1st. Next week. Is that? Next week. Am I correct? Or the week after? And they are going to receive thousands. While people are crying out, my Straight Talk family. And this Garth Lucifer Wilkin was so obnoxious when he said this today. I cringe.
Madam Speaker, nobody wishes to talk. But I have no problem being in the firing line, Madam Speaker. I didn't take this job to be cushy and comfortable. And I know I'm going to be attacked. But believe you me, nothing they could say no could faze me. Madam Speaker, I therefore pray for the resolution's safe passage.
And nothing could faze him, and he's right, because he should not be in Parliament. He has no integrity. He has transgressed the laws of this country, yet he is the chief legal advisor to the government. So something is wrong in our country, my Straight Talk family, when you would have an attorney general who would have broken the law, yet he's still in Parliament, but only in St. Christopher, as Lord Cut would have sung. But the stubbornly high grocery prices, continue to represent a critical drain on the finances of thousands of people and remain, my Straight Dog family, along with housing, perhaps the most persistent economic challenge that we could face. I'll perhaps take 2 more calls and make this my penultimate call for tonight. Caller, you live. Hello, caller?
Yeah, take the other 2 after me. Now, Patches, when we see who Drew got as his special advisor getting 10,000 a month, somebody who was swear to uphold the law and to break the law and get disgracefully discharged from the job. What do we expect? All of them that is corrupted. Anything that is wrong, they tell us that they could live off of that. But if this ain't enough to open us in St. Kitts' eyes, nothing else will open it. You have a good night, Patrice.
Have a good night as well, my Straight Dog family. As we wind down tonight's programming, like I said, things are tough in this country. Very, very tough. But let's go back to the lines and perhaps take one more call after this one. Caller, you live.
Thank you again, Patrick. I have a question for people of St. Kitts and Nevis. How many of you could be a Malcolm X, an Al Sharpton, a Jesse Jackson, a Nelson Mandela, to stand front and condemn all these insane, stupid, as they call it in St. Kitts, injustices, and no empathy for you, your family, and your people? Which one of you? If I was there, I would have, but I'm not there. Which one of you have the balls? Instead of talking and grumbling, more in a chamber by yourself, which one of you will go to government headquarters and have followers? That's a challenge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my Straight Dog family. And perhaps that's the way we're going to end it tonight, with that rhetorical question. Because my Straight Dog family, today in Parliament, perhaps take this and make this my final call for the night. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Hello,
yeah, man, Patches, man.
So
very disappointing today, and
we all should be.
This is not no party political stuff right now. The persons in St. Kitts and Nevis who's getting their pockets laced on the side, they don't care to say anything. They feel because their party is in control, you know what I'm saying, that they're not going to speak up for the poor man and speak up for the right. But guess what? When we go to the grocery store, we all going to have to pay them high prices, man. That little petty increase that they give in the minimum wage, that little petty increase is being absorbed in the grocery stores. You know what I mean? And these ministers and these parliamentarians, they're getting thousands of dollars in increase, man. You know, I've heard Dr. Drew's salary is about $150,000 in EC. Now he's going to get an increase of about $37,000. You take that to the bank, man. Analyze this, man. Poor people is going to continue to suffer. And I wish the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to stand up and be courageous, man. Yeah, you guys have a good night, man. Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Great show tonight, Patches. Thanks for bringing forth the information. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for your contribution as well. And my Straight Dog family, as we said, our thesis tonight, let's go shopping. Boy, Drew, things are tough. People can't afford to buy in the supermarkets.
They don't have the money to buy saltfish. They can't afford to buy a pound of saltfish. I think it's hard. Saltfish get well expensive now. 3 small sal mackerel are $30. Or 3 small sal mackerel right now can't buy sal anything. I think it's so very expensive. Think it need a change. It's too hard. People are hungry. I got a lot of friends who had on weight, used to look good in the body, and if you so small I get, some of them come to me with a problem. They tell me before time they could have bought vegetables, they could have buy the provision, they could have buy this and buy that, buy the cabbage, the good thing them for the body. They say they don't have the money now. They can't buy them things, the people and get small and so fast. People are dead. And starvation, I kill them, they're sick. Hungriness, I kill people in a sink it.
Yes, my Straight Dog family, that's the reality. And low-income families have been hit hardest by the rising grocery prices. And they are now being hit even harder by the senseless social policies of this current administration. Terence Michael July and his cabinet have no sustained public investments in programs that support people living in. But people are now living in rather and on the edge of poverty. You hear the story being told every day. People are saying things were better under Timothy Harris and his Team Unity administration. Money was circulating within the economy, and shoppers used to leave the grocery store with 3 and 4 bags. And now poor people leave Rams, leave Value Mart, leave Best Buy, and some go to the Chinese supermarkets, but they leave with, instead of 4 bags, 2 bags, if you're lucky, for the same amount of money. And my Straight Dog family, people are living in a state that can be compared to extreme poverty that we see in some countries, some of those quote-unquote low-income countries. The stubbornly high grocery prices represent a critical drain on the finances of thousands of people and remain, along with housing, perhaps the most persistent economic challenge for the July administration. And my Straight Dog family, grocery prices remain elevated high up to the sky. But who would believe that while poor people in particular are crying out to the government to put in place plans and policies to break this cycle of poverty for good, while people are calling on the July administration for the introduction of long-term solutions to meet the biggest issues faced in St. Kitts Nevis today, the housing crisis, the lack of jobs, and self-sufficiency in the food we eat. Who would believe, my Straight Dog family, that these political opportunists would be so insensitive and go to the parliament today and pass a resolution to increase their salaries? They have reduced or moved thousands of people off the PAP. Thousands, not hundreds. They have moved thousands of people off the PAP. And they had the gall to go to the parliament today with this resolution. And who did they use to table the resolution? Lucifer.
Now, therefore, be it resolved by the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis that the National Assembly accepts the recommendations of the Salaries Review Commission with respect to the salaries and other conditions of service for senior parliamentary officials with effect from March 1st, 2024.
March 1st, 2024. What have they done, my Straight Dog family, in terms of performance to get a salary increase? But this is what these political vultures did today. instead of introducing measures to help St. Kitts Nevis to protect the social, economic, and cultural well-being of our future generations, so that young people and future generations will have a fair shot at life. And Garth Lucifer Wilkin came across like the pit bull in the parliament today, so out of order. He said this.
Madam Speaker, nobody wishes to talk, but I have no problem being in the firing line, Madam Speaker. I didn't take this job to be cushy and comfortable, and I know I'm going to be attacked, but believe you me, nothing they could say no could faze me. Madam Speaker, I therefore pray for the resolution's safe passage.
And my Straight Dog family, not one of the elected members had the guts to speak on the resolution today. But yes, they all voted, of course, in favor of the safe passage that increase of the resolution that increased their salary.
But I wish the resolution safe passage. May it please you.
The question is that a resolution of the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis approving recommendations of Salaries Review Commission be adopted. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
And that was expected, my Straight Dog family, for the ayes to have it. And yes, the slow student, my Straight Dog family, made a very interesting intervention, my Straight Dog family. He sent the indulgence of the speaker to the grave, straight to the grave. I've never heard this one, my Straight Dog family. Never heard this one before. But very interesting, he sent his to the grave. He said, instead of craving the indulgence of a speaker, he graved the indulgence of the speaker. And I wanted to leave this one with you as well. I trust it, we'll be able to hear it, my Straight Dog family.
Necessary, I grave your indulgence.
No.
Yes, yes.
I know it's not the norm to get up twice on adjournment unless it's absolutely necessary. I grave your indulgence.
No.
He graved the indulgence of the speaker, my Straight Dog family. But these vagabonds need to be dragged out of Parliament, my Straight Dog family. They need to be dragged out of this Parliament, trust me, because they are so dishonest. And Garth Lucifer Wilkin did not tell the country about the $6,000 they take home in allowances, housing allowance, travel allowance, telephone allowance, constituency allowance, my Straight Dog family, in addition to their salary. But the Timothy Harris Team Unity Administration, as I said earlier, the Salary Review Commission report they used was from 2019, my Straight Dog family. This is the report. No, that's not the report. I take that back, my Straight Dog family. The Salary Review Commission report they used to do their hanky-pankiness was this, from 2019. But this report was deliberated in cabinet, and I was there at the time. And in good conscience, the entire Timothy Harris cabinet unanimously agreed that in good conscience they would not accept, or we would not accept the recommendation of the Salary Review Commission. Because people were hurting. My Straight Talk family. People were hurting. COVID-19 displaced thousands of workers in the hotel and construction industry. The economic conditions back then, compared to now, it's worse. Conditions are worse under this Jew administration that has and continues to mismanage the economy. Politicians are servants of the people, but July and his cabinet behave like they are our masters. What are the performance criteria used to determine their increase? July got elected, moved into the gated area, Beacon Heights. He hired a butler, Hazel Jeffers, to look after his meals and other things at the expense of we, the taxpayers. He's now has a wife at home. I don't know if he still needs that butler. But Garth Lucifer Wilkin had the gall to talk about Singapore. Singapore, a country of laws. Singapore, where the rule of law is supreme. If he was the AG in Singapore and a court ruled that he committed a criminal offense, he would have gone to jail. And he committed a criminal offense when he deducted monies from the wages of his nanny and failed to pay those deductions along with his matching contribution into the Social Security Board. And this is what the judge opined. A Social Security payment after the time prescribed by the legislation constitutes a criminal offense, whether or not the law is strictly enforced. That's the man you're hearing about, Garth Lucifer Wilkin, who was like a pit bull today. He didn't care. But my Straight Talk family, they have all betrayed the people once again. But now, they've got their salary increase. You've got your salary increase, Drew. Let's go shopping. Boy, Drew, things tough. And that's my story tonight, my Straight Dog family, and I am not going to change it. But I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight. As always, I want to thank all of you, thousands who listened. I thank you for your patience. Thank you for joining me. Those who called, those who sent emails. Remember, you are the ones, all of you, who make Straight Talk. And for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. I am Ian Patches Liburd, and God's Spear. We will connect on Monday for another edition of Straight Talk. So until we connect on Monday, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Yes, it's Thursday. You go to church on Sunday. Have a wonderful weekend. Do your chores. But remember that whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you must believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Monday.
The morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. Down on my knees, to the Lord I kneel and pray, with my heart and soul, beg Him to take me through each day. My guardian to keep and my guide, over every step I take, He will preside. So whatever my mind conceive that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. Now I'm on my way, with strength and courage from above. No man I'll fear, since God protects me with His love. Strong, pure and true, and so sincere, 'cause my knees I'll always stay to the Lord in prayer. So whatever my mind conceive that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on, I gotta reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow.